Okay, so we should be recording.
Okay, so
We are. Hold on, let me make sure. Double check. Recording. Okay. Welcome. Now let's do this. Okay. Now Marie could do her little thing. We're recording now. Welcome everyone. We're gonna share who's here. Okay, Tina. You want to go around the table? Oh, well, this Tina first. Well, she's right here. Oh, here, Tina. I'm gonna. That's
All
what.
right, so this was yesterday. Okay.
All right. So you guys may want to silence
So then you
yourself or
did.
put
Okay, so then you
yourself
did
on mute.
the Holt reader.
Diana, I hear you. So you guys may want to put yourself on mute unless you want to. Here, do we want to mute them?
I did a little paper too.
We can. I'm hearing some people. Okay.
Okay, so
All right.
write an
If you
answer
guys
question.
need to mute, there's, if you look on the, I think it's the
Write
left
your
corner,
answer with text evidence. Did
where you are.
do all
Okay.
that?
So Diana just did that, so she's muted. Okay.
Complete the skills practice on page 18
I don't
on
know.
your own paper. Draw and label the plot diagram. Did you do that? Okay.
All right.
There we go. Okay.
All right. Bobby Lynn just joined us.
That's
Okay.
from,
So let's go
All right.
around.
Who else was talking?
that's from here.
What does it say?
The broken chain. So page 18, draw and label, and then page 19.
Naperville.
Yeah, I know how to do that.
I'm Laura Schomburg.
Eileen, Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Jessica.
Hey, you ready for your test?
Okay. Wait, we moved
You
Terry.
can find it. It is right here. Let's see. Tell me your name. Kaylin. Two. Robin. All right, Robin.
Hi,
You
everybody.
can sit right here. And Kaylin.
Here too.
And you can go to the back table.
Hi, how you doing?
If y'all need some,
Be touching buttons.
he has 2 sheets. He said y'all can use paper. It works too. So whatever
Okay.
you want. This would be
We are having to mute you just in case. We are.
When you finish, just bring me your test, and then y'all can go back to class.
Okay. Cool.
All right.
Okay. Okay. Oh, Darlene's there. I can see Darlene pop up.
What page is this? 19.
All right. Okay. Why don't we just go ahead and get started? I'll manage the
Okay.
thing.
Can we,
Well, you really should have written the questions and answers. So.
there we go. We have, just so you know, if you want to talk, we cannot hear you. You have to unmute yourself. We just made a decision and we shut all of you up, so.
Okay. That would be Mean Marie.
Okay, Mean Marie. I'm absolutely delighted to be here. I don't know about you guys, but were you excited by all the stuff from conference?
Yes.
Absolutely. So this is the total eclipse of the sun day. So this is total,
Oh yeah, we all have to sing.
total eclipse of Pampered Chef this morning. And we have a superstar at our table. Let's look over here.
Yay.
Here, I'm going to have you switch seats with me. Switch seats with me so that you be really close.
Well, I could just move the computer.
my face even closer.
I could just move the computer. All right, hold on. Go ahead. Go ahead, Laura.
So we're gonna hear from Jessica McMahon. I was gonna say it wrong, and I don't want to say it wrong. She's been with Pampered Chef for, she just had her year anniversary last week, and she promoted to director early in the spring. She was one of our speakers at conference about virtual parties, although she does mainly cooking shows, so she'll explain that. That sounds weird. She just hit her $50,000 in career sales. She has 18 members on her team, of which 17 are personal recruits, so she is going for it all. In July, she had $7,058 in sales from 9 shows with 2 more recruits. Her team is already doing $14,801 in sales, and it's just going up every single month. But I told Marie that she needs to play 20 questions with Jessica.
Not only that is she's in the recruiting brochure. You might see a glimpse of her in the catalog, and she's somebody home office is watching. So we wanted
There
so
she
I wanted
is.
you to share. Yeah,
You
here
want to
you
share,
can look.
Marie?
Oh, there she is.
Hi, guys.
Marie's all over.
Here she is in the recruiting
There she is.
brochure.
So cute.
Very cute. And
Okay.
why don't
Totally
you
not
just
weird at all.
okay.
Okay, so you want to ask questions? Are we gonna do like Oprah style?
We can.
Are we getting cars
Uh,
today
but-
too?
I will give cars out to everybody who has to attend here.
So everybody who's on the Zoom call, you're in for a treat, and we're recording this, so this should be great. I don't think I muted us, did we?
You know what?
When I
You
said-
guys can hear us, right?
can hear us.
Shake your head. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Hold on. Here's what I'm going to do. Hold on just a second here. Speaker view. All right. Hold on. Okay. Oh,
I see you. Thumbs up.
wait, hold on. Back to gallery. Hold
There
on.
we go. So,
I don't know why, but okay. Hold on. I'll fix this. Go ahead.
and we can edit it down. Right? All right. So Jessica, you've recruited 18 people this year. You shared some great ideas at a workshop at conference. So if you wouldn't mind sharing with us a few of the key points.
Like a recap of
A recap.
what I did. Okay.
Just keep going.
So, okay, you guys, who's doing virtual parties at all? Any of you? All of you? Everybody?
Raise
Okay.
your hand.
So it's funny because I actually do like 90% home shows, and so when people find out that I'm speaking at a conference on virtual parties, they're like, wait, what? But let me explain. So the reason why is I've started working with Home Office. They had a beta test group for virtual parties months ago, and I was on one of the original ones. So there's a couple hundred of us, a few hundred of us doing this. So as the months went on, we kept on having mini pilots. And then we just would meet together, and the group would get smaller and smaller when we meet together and kind of form that whole experience that we do in our home shows and bring that into virtual parties. So the worry is, I think, from Home Office, and this was my worry and why I didn't do a lot of virtual parties, is I wasn't feeling comfortable with the product, the overall end result of the virtual party. So basically, when you're done with your virtual party, and you might have people that order, you might not, but either way, I still felt like, well, that didn't represent me and what I do with my business, and didn't represent the integrity that I try to keep with my business, right? Like shaking heads. Teresa's like, yep. So what this purpose is try to bring in a more real experience, as much as possible through virtual parties. So kind of taking that whole show type of, party that you do and bringing it into virtual parties. So what that looked like is there were a portal that Home Office had made just for us, right? And material that they devised for us to use. And we would still build our party, but use the material used. And then it just kind of evolved, each month. So basically the end result was this. Is taking like a cohesive story, basically. So having a theme, right? So it could be like a fiesta theme, like an everyday fiesta or smart swap. So a lot of you probably do themes already for your parties, but it's kind of really focusing on the value of the post and taking out a lot of the, not over posting so people aren't left overwhelmed or confused. Before I started doing it this way, my response from guests at the party would be like, oh, wow, that was kind of fun. That was kind of different. I was a little confusing. I would get that all the time. A little confusing. I just saw stuff pop up and blah, 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 blah. So now it also tested us to go live a lot. So what my party looks like now, and it's still could be different for everybody, but what mine looks like is I do an hour-long party. So I do Thursday nights, for instance. Because I don't do all virtual, I'm able to do this more extensively. But let me tell you what I do, and then I can give you some ideas of what you can do if you are primarily virtual, because it's not going to be feasible to do it exactly this way if you're all virtual. I get it. I always do my parties Thursday nights because that way it's just easy for me to organize my regular home shows. So my party opens up on Sunday with invitations. Host coaching is everything, obviously, right? So you guys are probably all host coaching if you're successful. That's why, right? Because we host coach well. So it opens up with an invitation, welcoming people, how the party works. Then within 24 to 48 hours, I go on live and I introduce myself, welcome them to the party, tell them a little bit about me, maybe how I got to know the host, who is hosting this virtual party. And then I do my one little raffle a day just to get them interested and get those tickets going and get interest. And then when the party hits, and I'll do maybe 2 product posts from Sunday to Thursday.
A day?
A day. No, 2 or 3 total. From Sunday to Thursday. So it's really about just grabbing that interest and getting excited. And then Thursday hits, let's say the party is at 7 p.m., right? So it's got a theme. So I've got one running that's like burgers. And by the way, what we did with home office, now you can totally do, because the party packs, if you haven't been on lately, go to the training on Consultants Corner. If you go under training, that's where they put the party packs. And they're starting to convert those to look like the portals looked when we worked with them. So it's really easy. Once you kind of learn that and navigate through that, you'll see they even have the wording very easy for you to grab, to attach to each post. So for instance, it's like telling a story. So first I'll go on, I choose to go live and do a cooking show, a live private cooking show, because I just like the value that adds, you know. So I'll go live in my kitchen. I have my camera on a tripod, my phone, right? And then I carry it from, you know, one area as they're looking at me, and then I'll come and grab it and I'll give them a bird's eye view as I'm using utensils right there. And I get to interact with them. People will comment and say, oh my gosh, my grandmother has that, or does that have a holder for it? Or, you know what I mean? And I can use it. And sometimes I'm even like pulling stuff out if people are asking about stuff, if I have time, you know, as I'm cooking. And I'll even take it to my stove. So like the grill pan, for instance, will be my Thursday party, because it's a burgers party, right? So that way it'll go over to my stove top and they'll be able to see the grill pan in action, things like that. And I do that for like 20 to 30 minutes typically. You know, obviously you don't have to do it for that long. You can do like just make pico de gallo in the manual food processor, right? Or whatever it is that you're comfortable with until you get more comfortable in front of the camera, right? And then what happens is I have ScentShare. I use ScentShare, and then ScentShare will post what I designed, and it's more of a story, right? So you'll have like, on the burgers, for instance, you'll have the tips, right? A tip of using 80% lean and 20% whatever. It's a post that we have available to us. So I'll have that tip, and then I'll go into a burger recipe, right? Using that type of ratio that we have posted, the Juicy Lucy burger, for instance. And then underneath that recipe, we'll be posting about 2 tools that you can use to get that recipe done, right? So if it's a manual food processor for something, I'll have that, and then like the little video, what have you. So I'll do like a tip, a recipe, and then a couple of tools. So it's really telling, so there's no confusion. You know that this is telling you a story, right? This is all cohesive. Then I go into the next one. So I'll do like 3 of those. So like for instance, for the burger and shakes, I have 2 burger recipes with the tools, and then I go into a shake recipe with the tools, and then I go into the video of the grill stone, for instance. You know, you have the video shows how you can freeze the grill stone and do the whole cold stone creamery deal on it. And so that's your party. And still, of course, you plug in your hosting opportunities and your business opportunity post within that, you know, intertwine them in there. But yeah, so it's really, so when I'm done, I feel like, okay, if I was watching this, right, I would feel like it added some kind of stuff. It's not just just like vomiting posts all over the place, right?
Yeah.
And they're beautiful
Great
posts
content.
too, because our photography images, photo images online are gorgeous.
So you're using the party packs.
I'm using,
pretty
well,
much.
yeah. So I had to devise one for my team, and I haven't been able to because it's been, you know, confidential. So I literally can't. So I finally just used the party packs. I was like, oh wow, you could totally do this with party packs, and it's a really nice layout. So that's what I spoke on. It was just creating that full experience and bring some integrity. You know, keep integrity, the same integrity you have in your home shows. Bring that to your virtual parties.
Perfect.
Because home office, I'm telling you, is and I understand this and I get it too. We're gonna burn out. Right? Yeah. If we just keep on doing these virtual parties the way we're doing, the way that people are doing, I mean, they're just posting stuff everywhere. Right. Like that's, first of all, I think that's devaluing, you know, what Pampered Chef is all about. And I know that a lot of the, you know, consultants that have been around for like 20, 30 years, that has been your concern. It's like, well, that's not what we're all about. I do have to, you know, you have to get with the times because people do love the comforts of their own home, but there's certainly a way that we can do both. Right. So now, if you were doing all virtual parties, you might have a lot of consultants, you know, who do a lot of virtual parties. And so doing a live cooking demo, you know, it's not feasible, A, because of time maybe, and B, because you're going to end up with all this food. You can freeze it. And I do. My husband will take it, you know, to work the next day. So, of course, the food never goes to waste. But you can do something like this. You could do YouTube, right? So do a YouTube general video of you cooking whatever's in your theme. And then when the party hits, you could still go live and let them know, hey guys, this, you know, I cooked for you and I'm going to be showing you the video right now. As soon as I get off, please take a look at it. I'm here to answer questions. And then maybe after it's over, let them know that you'll go live for 5 minutes to answer some questions if anyone has any questions. But that way they're still getting that personalized, like, oh, look at this, she did this for us. You know what I mean? With some really great tips. So, and if you don't like going live because you don't, you know, you're uncomfortable with that, it's another great option to do it that way, because then it's YouTube, so you can edit it and things like that.
Well, what about even using your hands? I know a lot of people are like, listen, if you can't go live, just you can do the talking and you can show hands and put the recipe together or whatever.
Oh, you mean like a bird's eye view, like the quick little like Instagram type?
Yep.
Oh yeah, there's so many different ways.
Okay.
Sam does that. Yeah. So someone from Laura Teal's team, she does that. She's super cute, and she's not comfortable yet doing all that, but she put together this really adorable little video. You just see the bird's eye view of her putting the stuff in the bowl, and there's little music playing. So, you know, there's different ways you can do it, but I think the most important piece.
Saved that video, and then she just plays it in her party.
I don't know if she's used it for virtual parties yet.
But it's saved, yes.
But it's definitely an idea, right? But I think the most important thing is go live at least a couple of times to at least introduce yourself, you know.
So how do you explain the 18 recruits that you've had this year?
Can we stop for 1 second before she finishes that? Is there any way that you can get us your live video, the clip of that live video, and then we can post it, or so that people can see of you?
Sure.
So one of your,
you guys can go on I have a public business page, so I'll share that.
Okay.
If you guys want to write this down, you can look at any of my videos. I have I think 3 or 4 on my business page. But it is facebook.com/ capital J, Jess, Jess, and then capital Y, YOUR, capital P, Pampered, capital C, Chef, and then another /. And that'll take you to the Facebook page. Go to the video tab on the far left, and you'll see I have like a cold brew one on there, a pico de gallo, and a popcorn one on there. So those I'll even add in, because I've already done those. You can share those from your business page. So when so right now my party's in the pre-posting stage, you know, started Sunday. So I do post 1 or 2 of those if they go in sequence with something that I have. I'll post a video, my cold brew, for instance. I always do the cold brew because people don't know what cold brew is. So it really is adding value. Yeah. And I also explain to them how they can save over $1,000 doing cold brew in their home, right? So I have that one that I post to every party during a pre-post. So you'll see that at some point in my parties as well.
Okay. Perfect.
But yeah, I say start small. Yeah. You know, I didn't start just doing 30-minute live videos. I get it. That's overwhelming for people, but at least just start treating it like a regular home show, and obviously host coach the heck out of your host, right? And I even tell my host to, and I'll leave examples on Facebook, you can hit the instant messenger and there's a microphone button, and I'll leave an example for them. So I'll say, hey, Beth, when you invite people, not only invite them and give them an invitation, but reach out to them individually and tell them why you're inviting them, okay? So I'll say, you can press this little button right here. I'm gonna leave you an example. So I'll leave her example, and I'll say, hey, Jen, this is Beth. Just letting you know, I just sent you an invitation for a Facebook party, virtual party I'm having. It's Burgers and Shakes. I thought of you because I know that you're running around a lot, very busy, and you might get a lot of great tips. So click going if you're interested to see. We're going to have a private cooking show as well. So therefore, people are getting that personal attention. Because when I get invited to virtual parties, and I don't, the dog is dreaming. Yeah. So when I get invited to virtual parties, what I always hated about it is I'm like, why the hell am I invited to this? Like, who is this? I don't even know what this is about. I was always confused. And then I never took any stock into it because I pictured someone just going to or inviting every single person. Yeah. So there was no personal touch, you know, and if you think about it, we all like to feel like there's a reason why you thought of me. Okay, I should look at this because you're thinking of me right now. You know what I mean? You're thinking,
some hosts will do that and some hosts
you don't have control over it. Right. No, you don't. But at least on our end, it's that integrity piece, right? At least on our end, we have the integrity of our business to make sure that we're covering the pieces to bring that experience to people. We don't have full control over virtual parties. Absolutely not. You're still going to get parties that aren't going to, you know, you're struggling to get to the $200. But I think the point is, more than anything, you just left integrity about your business. Like, that's what I'm all about, you know, like just making sure that there's I don't want to devaluize this is each one of our small businesses, right? Right. So you want to represent it.
You're sending your host an instant message.
Yes. So if you go onto your phone, I'll pull up my Facebook so you guys can see. A lot of you probably even know about this already, but this is a beautiful feature. Okay, so here's Facebook, right? Okay. Okay, right? So if you hit the instant message button, right? So it's going to take you so you can type your messages. But let's say, for instance, let me do Hillary. I'll even play it back. Okay, so this record button will pop up. If it doesn't pop up, you would hit this plus button right here, and then you'll see a microphone. That microphone you would hit, and then when you hit that microphone, the red button will pop up. But like, let me see. This is, hold on, let me.
Hey, also one more thing, Hillary, I forgot to tell you that you're going to see already.
Okay, my team's training. Okay, hold on.
So that was my little example for you.
Okay, my example. Okay, so this is my example I left for my host yesterday. Ready?
You could even use your private message. I take my phone just like I'm talking to you right now, and you can do that individually to people to just say, hey, Becky, it's Hillary. Just wanted to let you know that I just sent you a link to a virtual party I'm having. I thought of you because I know that you get into cooking shows. Well, this is going to have a private cooking show for us Thursday night. Even if you can't make it when it's live, you can still, watch it again. So just go ahead and click on the link that I sent you to get to the party page. There's lots of great tips. I think that you might get some value out of it.
So you have a minute to leave a message. So if you can see, this one right here has several of them because I had to talk to her more than a minute. So it'll cut you off, right? And then you just go ahead and you continue your conversation. But then you're also adding that personal touch to the host too. They're hearing your voice inflection. So they're not taking anything snarky because let's face it, you don't know the personalities of all of your hosts.
Excellent.
And you don't know how if they get your sense of humor or, you know what I mean? So therefore, it gets them excited. But I say, when we have a home show, we ask our host or like Laura, I know, still mails out 40 invitations, which is amazing, but it's going to take you. She does a really good job.
We're old.
But, the point is that to leave 40 little, 30-second messages is still way less than for them printing out and sending, sending out. So it's still very, it's reasonable to do, right?
It's worth the investment.
It's worth the investment. So like I noticed that she still has, I want her to get 15 people on her going, for her party. And there's several that are on there, but a lot of them are my team for training. And she knows that. I told her, So now today I'll reach out to her and say, hey, Hillary, if you can reach it, at least get 6 more people to click going. That would be great. So if you haven't reached out to everybody already, please do. And if you have, just remind them, hey, I haven't, I really think that you should check this out. So click, just to get that number of 15 at least.
Is there an incentive for her to do that from you?
I'm not big on incentives to tell you the truth. I'm like, your incentive is that you're going to get a bunch of free stuff. And you get me cooking for all of your friends, right?
So Jen, let's talk about your live show, since that's really your business. And is that where your recruiting is coming from as well?
I do have a couple of recruits that have come from virtual parties, but keep in mind, I don't do a lot of virtual parties. So it's in numbers, right? Like I know Blair's going through that too. Like she does a lot of, virtual parties. So you're going to get a lot more potentials the more you do. So as far as the ticket game, right? Does anyone do the ticket game? I learned it through somebody on YouTube. Do you do that?
I do.
Okay. Do you guys know about the ticket game? Are you guys doing that? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I can't imagine I'm not.
Some people should.
Everybody
Okay.
here is like
So when I started the business, I
veteran.
just started stalking every successful person in Pampered Chef and looking at every training video I could find. That's how I found you guys before I even knew you. But anything I could find. And I stumbled upon a couple people who were talking about a ticket game. So then I looked into that. And that's when I take 8 tickets with me every single show. It's the cheesiest thing in the world. And I freaking love it because I get to just like tell them how cheesy it is. I'm like, you guys, I'm going to get really cheesy on you for a second. I said, but you're going to appreciate this much more than me, lecturing you and bragging about how awesome my company is. I'm going to make it fun for you, So then I'll bring a little gift bag that I make out of old catalogs. I just tape it, and inside the gift bag is like a citrus peeler and an old 50-cent, Season's Best, And I have my tickets, and I ask them, okay, so how, now I bet you like, so I entice them with it, I'm like, look at this. They get all excited. So I have them ask questions about the business, and I give them examples. I say, this is your time to learn a little bit about why I love what I'm doing so much, because I never know if anyone out there is looking for a change, or maybe people in your life who could use a change, right? Or extra income or full income. So I say, just bear with me, okay? And so I asked them, ask me like, who owns Pampered Chef? I'm like, you guys are going to be shocked when you hear that. I bet you it's not who you think it is. And then why don't you, maybe you can ask me, where's Pampered Chef located? How long has it been around? How much, what kind of a contract do you have to sign? What's your membership fee look like? Things like that. What are your incentives, And sometimes you get people that are super excited to get that free gift, so they'll start asking, and other times you have people that don't really know each other, so they're afraid to talk. And so that's my time to just grab someone and say, Patty, you're looking at this citrus peeler, aren't you? And I'll be like, Patty, I bet you were wondering who owns Pampered Chef, And Patty's like, yeah. And I said, so? She's like, who owns Pampered Chef? And so then I'll like applaud. I'm like, oh my God, so you just make it fun. So I go through the tickets, do the raffle. And then obviously I like putting that piece about the membership, because a lot of direct sales companies, you have to buy a certain amount of product, and that's huge that we don't have to. So then when they ask that question, and I make sure even if they don't ask it, I make sure that I cover that question by the end of the ticket game. You know what I mean? Because that makes them think like, whoa, wait, you don't have to like buy inventory. You don't have to. It's $159. And so then I tell them, in the beginning of the show, before I even do the ticket game, I tell them my story, and through my story, they see how much, my life has changed in a year. And then I do it again with the ticket game. So that's the second time they're hearing about it. And then as I'm going through the stations, because I do station style, because station style is very duplicatable, you guys. So I know some people might say their sales drop a little bit, but you kind of have to think, work smarter or harder. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to go with the smarter, and because people can it's easy to do a station style. I tell them, I say, so look at you guys, I have these cards here. I said, by the way, does everybody know how to read here? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, oh my God, you'd be a perfect consultant, because all you have to do is read a card, and I'll tell the host, I go, ask Jennifer, did you see me, Jennifer, read the card and come in? She's like, yeah, I did. You just read the card. I'm like, that's right. I read the card and I put stuff down, So then I plug it in again. And then at check out every single person. I don't care how old, I don't care how young, I don't care, I just ask them, hey, in the beginning I talked a little bit about the business. Was there anything that interests you? Did you find anything kind of exciting? And sometimes you get the people that are like, nope, I'm good. And I say, that's fine. I said, but wouldn't you be insulted if I didn't ask you when I asked everyone else here? They're like, oh yeah, totally. I'm like, okay. And then I'll go in about hosting a show. But every single person, the first thing I do is ask them, hey, so did you have a good time? Was there anything about the business that you thought was interesting? And Laura's been doing monthly opportunity events on Facebook, which I love, because then if they want to talk more about it, great. If they're kind of like him and hawing, I say, you know what, me and my director, Laura, we do an opportunity event every month. So would you like me to throw you on there? It's just on Facebook, so in the comforts of your own home. And, she even does like a fun little raffle. And so I'll write their names down, and then I'll add them onto the opportunity event. Of course, then I'll follow up with them, afterwards. But yeah, but that's it. And a couple of times I've had people, sign right from the show. I really try not to sell the kit. I'm not big on selling the kit. I'm big on acting as if they don't really have a choice. They have to do a show first, and then they can decide whether or not they want to do it, but I help them with that show. It is something I still do, which can be time consuming, but for me, it's incredibly exciting, because you're getting them started. They're getting a paycheck right off the bat, and then you just don't know what their potential is after that, So I like, Laura did that for me when I started. She came and did the show with me. I don't know 100% that I would have done it if Laura didn't do it with me the first time, So that's just what I do. You guys, it's really nothing crazy. You just talk about it. Mm-hmm. Really, you just talk about it, and you be genuine about it and tap into why you started it, and that'll start showing. What was your story? So my story is, you want to hear about my story?
I do. We have a few hours. We're good to go.
All right. Well, she's hiring professional people as well.
Wow.
And I think when you hear her story, you'll see why.
Okay. So we need to hear this.
So I'll give you a little, I'm not going to go. So anyway,
the whole story, honey.
Yeah,
My whole
seriously,
story.
the whole story.
Okay. All right. So
about you.
Hey guys, I'm Jessica McMahon. Just wanted to let you know a little bit about me. So I'm not a stranger to you because I like people. That's why I'm in this business. I live in Schaumburg. I live with my husband and our son, who is going into 4th grade. My daughter is 22, and she's a graduate of Illinois State University and lives up there and stays up there. So she's on her own, and I'm very proud of her. She's doing her thing. So a little bit about me. So I started in advertising through the Daily Herald newspaper, and even though it was really, great, paid the bills, I realized that corporate America was kind of failing me. And I looked around, and people were walking out with boxes all the time and being sent to their house forever, and it was just a really, really eye-opening experience to see, like, wow, this is just not really safe, is it, right? So I decided to go ahead and tap into something that I noticed I was good at the Daily Herald, because I was in sales, so I was out and about. I was really good at relationships, so building relationships with people. So then I went into psychology, got my degree in psychology, and as I was working there, and then I moved on to get a master's degree in social work. So that was just at the age of 39. And so it wasn't too long ago. And I thought, wow, now I'm going to go into the schools and I'm going to be able to do all this great work that I'm excited about. And I would go into these interviews to interview. And after a while, you realize you have now interviewed for about 10 schools and multiple interviews for 10 schools for jobs that not only are you going to just be fantastic, but you're so excited about it, right? And to sit and do these, I always call it tap dancing. Like I had to tap dance for these people over and over again. And after a while, that wears on you. And then you end up in these schools that just you don't belong in. And it actually is painful. So it's not leaving integrity to your job as a social worker. At least for me, it wasn't, because I'm not able to do social work. The schools were way different than what I thought that they would be. And I realized that I needed something different to do just to get my mind off of it, because my job pain was so great. So I walked into Laura Teal's house in August of 2016, and I was looking for a pan. I didn't know Laura. I had hosted a party 10 years prior, and that's all I knew about her, but she kept me on an email list. So once in a while I would see emails, and I realized that she lives in my neighborhood. I'm going to go in during this open house that she's having, and I also need to buy a pan. So, and then I walked out, and out of a whim, I just asked her about, how do you get started? What is this all about? Can you make money? I was also working in restaurants for 20 years up until last summer as a server. So, I worked part-time. I always say when you have a kid, when you're 19 years old, you learn grit, right? And you learn how to work. And I was always a worker. So I was ready, though, to give up that waitressing apron and try on a new apron. So I started Pampered Chef, hoping to make $200 or $300 a month. And I thought, well, big deal. I'll get all these products. I'll do it for a month or two, and then, be done. And I'll have completely exceeded everything and gotten all these products for free, essentially. But I never just made $200 or $300 a month. My very first month, I made $1,000 in commission. And to tell you the truth, the lowest month I ever made was $600. So, and that was working part-time as I was working full-time. And I realized right away that this is really something special, and this is a real opportunity. So I started being intentional about my business, and I started growing my business in January. And last day of school was June 8th, and school just started up this month, and I'm not returning. So for me, it's been great. Yeah. So for me, it's truly been life-changing. So that's a little bit about my story. And you'll see that today as I'm talking to you all and cooking with you all, I have a lot of fun with what I'm doing. And it means a lot to me to at least be able to present that to you, because I know that there's other people that have job pain or family pain, or boredom pain, or creativity, and you're not tapping into your potential. And so everyone has different type of pain. So so talk to me afterwards if you want to chat a little bit about anything that you see here that I'm doing that you can kind of see yourself doing as well, because it's really not difficult if you can read. And that's it. So that's my story.
Yeah, that's a great story.
So now I'm instantly really attached to them somehow. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
they feel,
I get it.
because you're telling
Yeah.
a little bit about your heart, and it's
Yeah.
genuine, right? So everyone's story is different. Obviously, you're not going to go in there and say,
No,
"Oh,
that was
social
really
worker." You know, everyone's got their own story. So it's just about
No,
being.
that was really
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really
So
good.
that's it. That's my
Excellent.
story.
Yeah.
And that's all I do. I talk about it. I just, I've never once tried to convince someone this is the job for them. I've never tried to convince anybody. I've just let them know that I see their full potential, and I'll even add their attributes. I say, well, you know, I see that you're talking to me and you're super personable. So that's a huge attribute for this business, you know, so don't sell yourself short. That's what I'll tell people, you know, don't sell yourself short. But I never will go, you know, call them up. I'll maybe do like 2 little chats or phone calls, you know, to let them know about an opportunity event. But I'm not about to try to drag someone into something because, you know, if they're not ready, they're not ready. you know?
No.
So,
Well, and you bring up something that's really important, that whole show experience. So those of you that were at conference probably heard it from stage that Pampered Chef is really digging into the show experience. And what they're really critically looking at is the experience from the customer's point of view. They know what makes a good show for us because we get sales, we'll get bookings, we feel really good about the money we earn that night. But what is going to drive our company to new heights is if our customers are happy.
right.
So that when they leave the show, how likely are they to return, and how likely are they to recommend it to their friends?
Right.
And so that has been, and that changes everything, because when you start looking at it from the customer's point of view, what makes a good show might be a little bit different.
So going into virtual parties, the way that a lot of people have been doing them, that piece is going to be missing in the future, right? So the guests at that party most likely are not going to remember, you know, Tina, for instance, right? Not that I'm just your name. That's all I'm using. I'm not using you as a person. I'm like, this isn't the best example. I'll throw someone's name out. But so, you know, they're not going to remember Tina, you know, they're not even going to, if someone says, oh, Pampered Chef, they're probably going to say, oh yeah, I was at some virtual party a while ago. But it's going to end right there because Tina means nothing to them. You know what I mean? Tina added no value to their life. Tina was basically a little pop-up store that let them like click a link and order some stuff because she showed some pictures and items, but they don't remember Tina. She's not their consultant. She was just the person that engineered these posts pumping out, but that was it. And it stops right there. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
But you want to be that person for them forever. And you want them to recommend you to other people, right? Even if they live in California, they're going to remember Tina if she went ahead and added some real value and personal touch, you know, and presented herself on camera to them. And stuff like that. So that's how you remember someone, right?
Yeah.
It's the relationships. I say I don't sell the products. I sell my relationship with the people, right? So
if everybody can bring up, hold up your coffee cup, your iced tea, whatever. I start all my shows with a toast to our host.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. So this is my toast to my host. So let's say Patty is my hostess.
Okay.
So Patty, has everybody got their drinks? Because we're doing the salad and sangria show, and everybody's got their sangria. Here's to Patty. Thank you for inviting us. I love what I do, and I couldn't do what I love if it weren't for people like you. So thank you. And thanks to all of you for joining us. So tonight it's about food and family, friends, and fun.
And fatty.
Cheers.
Fatty.
And then I'll say, and you're in for a treat tonight. What's on the menu is, and I'll do like a recap. We're going to be making, you're going to learn how to make chopped kale salad. We're going to be grilling some chicken on the stove indoors, and we are going to be doing some linguine zucchini. So this is a healthy in a hurry show, and it's going to be a lot of fun. You're not going to see everything. So I hope somebody has the next party, and maybe we could do wine, cheese, and chocolate, and you throw out a couple things that you're not doing to set the stage that the next show is going to be different. And here's what we're going to be learning tonight. But when they have their party, they might see and experience different things.
So
you know, I know that Jess does station style, but I know you do station style. So because I find it very difficult, because I think that once people go off, so tell us what that looks like. Are you explaining the products ahead of time?
Yeah, so it's evolved. You know, I haven't been doing this that long, right? So I've had to kind of let it evolve as I've gotten a little bit better at it and done more shows. So as of right now, how I do it is I go through the stations before I break them up into it. You know, so that's my time to highlight, you know, the rock crock and the deep covered baker and the Santoku knife, you know what I mean? So I'll go through and let them know. And so over here, so I don't really even use I put the cards down still more for the recruiting purposes, right? So they see that there's cards to help them, but I really don't, they don't really have to even read the card anymore. Because I'll let them know at this station here, if you don't really want to do much, hold on to your glass of wine and put the press on the chicken and you're good. You know, play with the spritzer. This is that person. So the lazy person's cooking station, this is you right here. This is all you, you know. And then I'll go to the next station. I'll say, over here, you know, I've got these peppers. And so I'll cut one pepper and show them how to do the scoop loop. I said, but I've got another pepper here that needs to be done. So it's a perfect time for you to play with these tools here. If they're making a pico de gallo, I do leave that station card there. And I tell them one person can read the station card while the other person puts the stuff in here. You're going to be amazed, you know, how fast it chops everything up. But so I'll go through the stations and talk about the products, and then I split them, and then I have them split up, you know. That's how I do it now. But when I started doing it, I was less comfortable, right? So this is proven that anyone can do this business, because what I do is put the cards down and say, okay, you guys have got this over here, this over here, this over here. So can I get 3 people over here, 3 people over here, and 3 people over here? And that still worked, you know, might not have like known as much about the products when they left, but they got their hands on it. And then as time went on and I got more comfortable with my product knowledge, then I wanted to talk about the products more, you know, so that has just evolved as time has gone on. But.
Well, and don't you feel like there's certain products that need an explanation and some that don't, you know? So.
Well, either way, you're still there, right? Because you got to help them with the garlic press. They don't know that you don't have to peel the garlic, you know. You got to help them with the simple slicer, because I don't want anyone chopping up a finger. So things like, so you're still kind of running around, but the spotlight's not on you. And I'll highlight that. I'll say, you guys, if you noticed, when we were cooking, you guys weren't looking at me. The spotlight wasn't on me at all. So if you see that you can do something like this, you know, if you could see how like easy it is, you're not up here doing the traditional Pampered Chef show anymore that you might have gone to 8 years ago. This is different. You can do this, and it's not all on you, you know?
Okay. So I think the biggest, and this is probably in my mind, the biggest obstacle is the fact that, you know, the people that are not getting to see, everybody's not getting to see the manual food processor or the quick slice or the other, they're not seeing the grill pan in action because they're working on something else.
They're working on something else. So then you have them talk about it obviously afterwards, but even then they're not going to fully get it, but you know what? They still book because they had fun. Yeah. So guess what? And then your business is going
maybe
on.
I'm just thinking because I'm old school. Maybe I just continue to think that, you know, I am old school.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking they need to see this. I mean, I need to be in control.
What I do is I have stacks of recipes. So I print out recipes for every single, I do like 4 or 5 recipes. That's it. Really, I keep it simple and duplicatable, right?
Yeah, Eileen does one.
And Eileen does one. I tell your story all the time to people that tell me they don't like to cook. I go, this woman Eileen that I work with has 2 recipes. Yeah. She has a happy hour Chipotle dip and a chicken fajita. That's it. She's, like I said, she's built her whole business on these 2 recipes. But I also bring, so like if it's a Nostro risotto, I've got copies of Nostro risotto recipe with all my information at the bottom, including my Facebook business page, my you know, website. So when I let them know, hey, you guys, at the end at checkout, I have this recipe you get to take home. Huge value to them. And then they'll even post it. People I don't even know, they'll post it on my Facebook. They've recreated the meal and they take pictures and they post it on my Facebook.
Oh my God.
I've got people like a whole Beachbody crew. The Beachbody people love me because I do the healthy meals. And Beachbody people are posting my products everywhere now because they're posting it for their teams and for their support groups that they run, right? So then you just make your way through social media that way, right?
Yeah, no.
Another huge tip is I don't sell on social media. I show my stuff on social media, but I don't sell it. So when you guys look at my videos, you'll see I'm not selling my stuff on there at all.
That's the way they said that you should
they see it, right? And they see my page is called Director of Pampered Chef, you know, but I don't sell anything. And to me, that's the value piece, right? Is giving them that value and not that sales. I don't want to be a salesperson. I did that for 8 years. I don't
So
wanna
that's
sell.
on your business page, though. Do you sell on your business page or no?
I will put things, I don't sell, I put things like, I'll say, like I did the bundt cake recently, and I made it, and I showed a picture of the bundt cake that me and my niece were, and I said, coming in September, hold on, be patient, you know, so I'll show the picture of the bundt cake pan. But I don't say buy now or there's a huge sale. I don't put any sales. That's just my personal choice. I just don't.
I get it.
I just wanted to keep a kind of a finesse kind of to it. You know what I mean?
Well, they say that 9 out of 10 posts should not be about that.
Yeah, there's like an 80-20 rule. 20% could be
Yep.
something a month about, you know, about selling something, and then 80% should just be you using or representing the lifestyle that you want to represent through your product. So I'm about presenting the lifestyle, right?
There you go.
They see that I'm having fun in the kitchen, I'm cooking great meals, it's healthy, you know, stuff like that.
You're adding great value.
Thank you.
That's the, I don't, it's kind of nauseating, all the sales that goes on Facebook, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
If I could not be that for them,
I know.
that to me is the ultimate value. You know what I mean?
I don't understand, because every social media expert says don't do that. That's you know, don't be posting things like, you know, my host needs, you know, she's close to her, you know, qualifying show or whatever. Does anybody need anything? Or I mean,
when you create curiosity and a real interest, the curiosity is going to get them more than anything. So saying, oh, this is Pampered Chef, they're done. They saw it, they're done. Now they know, oh, if I need Pampered Chef, I go to Jess. But if you don't say it, and you just talk about your lifestyle and show how you're cooking in your kitchen,
they know
now they're building curiosity.
Right.
Now they want to know, why is Jess home? Why is Jess doing this at home?
Exactly.
How is, you know, that it's that curiosity piece that is going to lead them to trust you as well.
Oh my gosh,
you know what I mean? Because
so
I'm not
that
telling them.
You're spot on.
Yeah.
That's it.
I just want to, Crystal Livingston in my downline is doing a program with Eileen Meckley. And years ago, Patty and I had Eileen here. And Eileen's thing is about, no, this is her old book, sharing from the heart. And sharing at least 5 times a day. And if you share from your heart and you share 5 times a day, your business will grow exponentially. And it's really about engaging people in conversations, which is exactly what we do at our parties, right? We engage people in conversations. And speaking to what you said, it's not just all about Pampered Chef. Oh, do you live nearby? How do you know Eileen? Are your kids the same age? Oh, what sports are they in? And you know, discover different levels of commonality, but you never turn the conversation back to you. And then when you have something to share, you say, well, I have my own business. Have you ever heard of Pampered Chef? You know, our company has lots of different services. I would love to be able to share some of the information with you. And then being able to get information back so that you can re-engage with a new customer. And if you think of your show as probably the pinnacle of opportunity for you, because this is where you can engage people forever and add them to your newsletter list. And I just want to make an aside to everybody. One of the things I heard from conference coming back from the Tech Cafe, how many of our consultants have never opted in for their customers to get their monthly newsletter. It is a crying shame.
They think
legally,
it's automatic.
and I know everybody wants it to be just the opposite, where you're automatically opted in until you opt out, but there's a reason for it, and it has to do with the legality. You can't automatically put somebody on a mailing list unless they verbally agree that they want to get your newsletter. And then the second thing is there's a news section in everybody's website, and you really need to be diligent about updating news. And if you're not somebody that's going to go in and update news, put in a recipe, put something that doesn't need to be updated. So that's like a huge...
They took everything out. They took all the specials. They took everything out of the newsletter. Did you know that?
No, I did not.
Because it's going to be on the website anyway.
people sign on.
Yeah.
Mine always goes to spam.
They took all that out there, so you don't. There's you have to put things in there because there won't be anything there.
So you have to put the specials in your newsletter or on your website if you want.
Is that me?
So let's continue around the table, and I would love for you to share any great other tips that you got from conference or something that you've discovered. So we can move on to Eileen. You know, I might shut those.
Yeah, that would be great, Marie, because I noticed that it is because we're
your
shooting.
computer.
Yeah, I know it is because of this, and I didn't turn it off, so I apologize. I guess I just have to. All day. I just.
Okay, so to follow up on what Marie just said, how many times do you guys, finish your show and people say, "Can I have that recipe? Can you send me that recipe?" Right? Mm-hmm. I never thought to put it in the news section on the newsletter. You drive them to your website. You put the recipe that you made, chicken chipotle nacho.
Yeah.
Let's get that straight.
And you drive to your website, right? So I really don't put. I try not to put the specials in my news section because they're on the main page anyway. So you don't need to take up that real estate with specials because they're already there. They're already broadcast.
Okay.
So put your recipe, your feature recipe right in the news section, and that way you say, I'd be happy to give it to you. Here's my card, my business magnet card, and just click on news when you get to my website.
There you go.
So that was a follow-up to what you had said, but in this was a hot tip that I got from somebody that was in the director's store.
You get a close up.
Well, then the people can see you better. So we'll just pass the meeting around.
We'll pass the meeting around. I feel like Max Headroom here. Who remembers Max Headroom?
I do.
All right. Anyway, and this is probably going to go opposite of what you had said as far as selling kits, and I'm not big into selling kits either, but this director was looking for a red scarf to buy her new director, to wear on stage. And I said, oh, that's awesome. She said, she's a real hottie. I mean, she's brilliant. And I said, how did she promote? She said, in 45 days. She promoted to director in 45 days. I said, what did she do? I said, is she virtual? She said, no, she's a cooking show consultant. She said, but in booking her, setting up her calendar, she had 8 people that said, well, I can't do a home party. Can I just do one online? So this new director's spin was, doesn't it make more sense that these hosts just order a kit and do their own virtual party and get paid to do their own virtual party? Those are their friends. I don't know who they are. Get paid, and that she qualified like 8.
But that's not selling a kit.
Right. She had them doing their shows. Correct.
Right,
yep.
Right.
So she just thought of this and she's like, doesn't that make sense? Isn't that what you do? And the upline director is like, no, but I'm going to start.
Yeah.
So isn't that brilliant?
Yeah.
45 days. So she just said, hey, if you get these virtual hosts, why not have them order a kit, do their own party, get paid, get reimbursed, whatever, but they'll experience success right away and keep going. So that was my hot tip.
Hey, that's
Wow.
Next.
I think the most excited thing I'm about.
You might say your name.
Laura Teal. The most excited thing from conference, helping others. We're starting a 6 weeks to success program, and on Saturday, it's just Saturday. So I've got some excited people and just helping others grow their business.
Here we go.
Anything.
Hi, I'm Carrie Ciesla. Mine's really simple. I have a lot of people on my team that will come to me and say, I don't have any shows, I don't have any friends, I don't know what to do. And I sat through Donna McDonald's class, that's who it was. And she said, she had a lot of tips, but one thing I went up and asked her, I'm like, what do you do with those people that say, I've asked everyone on my Facebook, and, I'm like, oh, okay. Instead of asking or giving them ideas on stuff that they should be doing, you have to ask them like what they're willing to do and keep asking questions. Instead of giving them the ideas, you have to keep asking them open-ended questions. So no matter what they come back to you with, you have to keep responding with a question. So don't tell them what they should be doing. Keep asking them what they're willing to do. Because if you tell them, oh, go pamper a business, and they're like, I can't do that. It has to be something that they're willing to do. So I guess my big takeaway was respond to everything with a question. Keep asking questions. So that was mine.
Questions are the answers.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. Blair Stanolovic, conference. I think I took mostly away about being very intentional about what I'm looking for and what I'm after with my business. I want to grow. I set a goal. I made a vision board. I want senior director by the time conference comes around next year. And so I've been very intentional about with my team, telling them what I want, how we're going to get there, how they can help me, how I can help them. Creating the culture. Exactly. And I'm the opposite of you guys. I will sell a kit to anybody. To me, there is one person that is never going to qualify, and that's somebody who never bought a kit. If we get that material in their hands, you never know if they might look through that catalog and say, oh, maybe I can do this. Or, I get them to buy a kit, and then I say, well, maybe just do 1 or 2 parties to earn your kit money back. And, some of them had said, okay. I'm sure that even selling the kit to Jessica, for example, I'm sure even if they're like, yes, I want to do this business, I want to do it, and you sold them a kit, did all of your people always do something?
But you still offer to do.
I do. I offer to.
So I guess that's not what when I say selling a kit, I know when people are when people are at shows, they're like, oh wow, I can get all of that and I don't have to do anything.
Yes.
That's what I'm like.
Yes,
oh,
you can. Yes. See, now I tell them yes.
I say no. I ask them to try it for 30 days. And that just means me coming and doing a show with you. Get your money back.
Oh, and I mean, I go that far, but if somebody says, well, I really don't want to do that, this is just a really good deal and I want it.
Right.
Yes.
And I tell them
you can buy it.
They can't do it. I have had a couple of kidnappers, don't get me wrong, right? I don't tell them they can't, but I really try hard not to make the whole party think that you could just buy a kit and walk away.
Sure.
Like, you know what I mean? So I guess that's.
Yeah, I don't advertise it that way, but if somebody says, hey, this is a really good deal, do I have to sell? I tell them, no, you don't have to, but these are all the things. And I mean, how many? 7 qualified this year so far. So, I mean,
she started this year with 0.
And I have 26 now.
In December. Yeah.
And I mean, some of them are new. I mean, I recruited 5 last month. So some of those are not going to qualify for a while yet. But yeah. So I do. You want a kit? Here you go. It's all yours.
You never know. So Michael Reeves just said, love it. Because that's what happened with him. He bought a kit, and he said, so glad I bought a kit. What would you do?
Hi, everybody. This is, I'm Laura Marchese, and I think what I got out of it, I went to a great workshop with Carol Redu, and she was saying that, shift the mindset, coaching is not criticizing, so shift the mindset and, just what Carrie said, help them help themselves, ask questions, to get answers out of it. And what I always keep hearing at conference, the wonderful pre-conference training that you all put on is just how you need to take your power tools to your shows to, up that, that sales average, and that's just, I passed it along to my team, because they're new. So, getting that. So.
Tina Dalton. From conference this year, it was really just rediscovering my passion and really rebooting my business all over again. But part of the pre-conference training, not just I always brought a power tool, but bringing the idea of bringing multiple power tools, one they can buy now and one to book for, and really highlighting more than just how I use it, really diversifying it for how other people. With Pampered Chef, I've definitely become more of a microwave cook because it's just become so easy, but that's not for everybody. So showing the rock crock, but then with the grill pan too. And then also showing the everyday pan with the rock crock because that's the one that comes in the kit. Mm-hmm. So highlighting that, bringing it back to the kit, breaking down, finding the products that are in the new consultant kits and just bringing that to life and drawing their attention into that instead of saying this is just like the kit and it's a great deal, but really adding value to the kit and they already want the product because they just saw it at the party. So.
Excellent. Hi, it's Tina Ciccone from Naperville, and I thought conference was great. you know, it, like Tina just said, it's to get you back motivated and re-energized. And, you know, what I really liked was what I saw about how the company is really focusing on making us look professional. You know, I want to be in a profession that I'm proud out loud about and attract professional people. And I think not for the first time, but I felt that conference was a lot about that. They're working on the experience. They want us as consultants to, you know, give value to our customers, provide good customer service, provide a great show. And I think that that's really important. The other thing is I was excited to see how many young people are coming on board with Pampered Chef. It was always said, you know, through my 23 years that, you know, recruiting fixes everything. I'm not sure that I'm in a position to attract all these, you know, young, exciting people, but I'm just so happy to see for everybody else that they're all coming into the company. And you never know. I mean, you know, some might come my way, but, you know, that just made me feel really, really, really good that there's a lot of people that are seeing us as a viable business opportunity. And I may have missed the boat on that or whatever, but I'm just real excited for everybody and for the company. I did learn a lot of tips for my virtuals. I don't do a lot, but I do some. And I practiced a couple things when I came back with, you know, getting away from the product posts and posting some things about my family, about my husband, about myself. Yeah. And, you know, and I'm like, you know, and I found like people were really looking at those. Yay. And so that was kind of exciting. And, you know, I don't really want my business to, you know, I want my virtual parties to lead to relationships and to maybe some more cooking shows or more bookings. But, you know, I'm not so concerned anymore about driving sales through those and giving people more of what they see in the themes and what Jess was saying about, you know, being intentional in your parties. I think, you know, I learned that at my workshop on virtual parties. And so I think that's it.
Okay, Michael said Tina ain't missed the boat. Go get him, girl.
Thanks, Michael.
Okay, so, okay, so I guess the one thing about conference, or it really wasn't even conference, it was about Lead and Lead Plus and all of these incredible people walking the stage, double promoting from land conference to this conference. My mind was blown. 400 new directors. I mean, 18 or 12 new executives? 18 new executives? It's crazy. 2 new NEDs. I mean, it was absolutely crazy. But the one thing I think that was responsible for that, or a lot of responsibility was, you know, was because of Lead and Lead Plus. Right. And the one thing that Lead and Lead Plus promoted was accountability.
2 shows a week?
And 2 shows, well, here's the thing, is that if they didn't do the homework, or if they didn't do what they were saying, here's the format. Here's what happened. So I just think to myself, I let people off the hook. I'm not doing anybody any justice by doing that. I mean, you know, oh, she's so nice. You know, she'll understand, you know, almost to the point where, you know, I was getting the kids ready for school. Well, you had 3 months to get the kids ready for school. Come on. Things happen to everybody. It's kind of, you know, like, what are you willing to do? Like Carrie just said, what are you willing to do to make it happen? And at the beginning of my business, I mean, I wasn't listening to all the chatter when people are like, what, are you crazy? I mean, when people didn't even know 27 years ago what Pampered Chef was all about, you know, I wasn't listening to them because it wasn't about that. It was about, we needed $700 a month. Murray's stealing everybody else's. Okay. But anyway, so that's what it really was. And that was important. So I never looked at it like that. I didn't look at a no as like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, you know, oh my gosh, that destroyed me. I could die, you know? And I think I feel like I'm I'm now at a point where I'm like, and I'm sorry if anybody in my team is listening or on the, because I'm not nice. I'm not going to be nice because you know what? Nice is not going to get you anywhere.
Well, I like what she said about saying,
Yeah.
well, what are you willing to
Well,
do?
that's what I just said. What are you willing to do?
I'm gonna ask all.
What are you willing to do? Because I
did it
think,
too. I had one
yeah.
girl who I've sent her emails and to get her started with coaching and stuff, you know, host coaching and booking parties. And she posts on our upline page. She said, you know, what she say? What can I? And I just loved her response.
Where do I get started?
Yeah, how do I
doing
get
a
started
party?
doing parties?
Who
And
do
I
I
was
reach
like,
out to?
well, you could listen to everything I've told you over the last little while. But then Karen just turned it around and said, well, what do you think? You know, like what?
Yeah.
She put it
Yeah.
back on her.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. That's
That's
what I always say. Like, what? I mean, what excites you? Is it a recipe that'll excite you? It's kind of like that hot dog story from, you know, Sue Rush a million years ago. The girl that didn't do anything, then all of a sudden she had everything in the world. You know, she was doing sales and, you know, she was booking tailgate shows and appetizer shows because of that. What was that hot dog recipe?
The mini hot dog.
The mini hot dog. It was in the mini muffin pan with the cornbread.
Oh my
And
God.
all of a sudden she took that,
that.
and it wasn't anything that Sue Rush said. It was everything about, you know, it was everything about that recipe because it was for her, that was fun. So she took that and ran with it. So it is about having something fun. So this will be a good segue into something that, and Katie's not on. I don't think she's on. But anyway, Katie Krieger shared this at a downline visit that I just went to. And I thought, oh, maybe this will be appropriate. So it has something to do with, you know, what are you going to do? Because she is mostly a cooking show person. But she was like reading some posts online. So she had everything canceled for her in August. And she's like, oh my gosh, where am I going to go with this? Cooking shows aren't working. I'm going to need to go to virtual shows. And she was reading online about what people were looking for. It was really just kind of like, she's like, you know, she saw somebody post something about, you know, hey, what's everybody doing for, you know, snacks for their kids or quick meals? Or, so she noticed that was the entire conversation. That's what she picked out of it. And she said that she did a lot of research then, and she was putting together a virtual outline then on, you know, 30, you know, well, I mean, obviously the quick meals, the one pot meals, it was the snacks for the kids and all those things like that. And then what she did is she reached out to a couple people that she like private messaged them, and she said, hey, I noticed that you were struggling with, you know, quick meals or snacks for the kids or whatever. And she reached out to them and she said, well, what do you think? She goes, I'm creating a group, is what she said. So I don't know if they knew that they were hosting a show, but she said, I'm creating a group. Can I add you to the group? And then she followed up with, because we were laughing about that, but she did follow up with the fact that, yeah, you are going to be the host and, you know, you have to add people to the group. You know, right. But people on the spot, without a doubt, were all going, oh my God, yes, absolutely. 9 virtual shows from that. So when you didn't know what to do, okay, she created an outline that just said, hey, she reached out to people that were struggling with that, you know, but she found it, she was very resourceful. So she went back and she did the research on it, created an entire outline in it, and now is doing 9 shows this month. So isn't that crazy?
That's crazy.
Yeah, that was really good. So is Michael still on? Did you want to, are we done with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Did you
should
say, Jess, what you got out of conference? We'll do that. Yeah, I know. Yeah, what did you get out of your
Michael, just so you know, you're muted right now.
We'll unmute you. Let Jess finish. Okay. And then I'll unmute Michael.
I think what I got out of conference more is how important it is for members of my team to be at conference.
Okay.
Honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, I like participating. So for me, that's not a problem, but I know for other people that is kind of a big step for them to participate, like show up, right?
Right.
So overall, I think it's just that show up factor. Like show up. If you want your business to change, you're gonna have to change. If you want to be better, you're gonna have to be better, right? And learn. And if you're not learning, your business is not going to grow.
No.
You know? So I mean, it's just the whole everything. I mean,
And it's not even the same if you saw the videos, because I purchased the live stream.
Mm-hmm.
So I went back and went through because, you missed a lot. You were backstage. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you were everywhere. You went to the bathroom. You missed a lot. I was like, oh my God, I'm so glad I did this. But it's definitely not the same. It wasn't the same as being in conference, networking with people, being right there when they introduced that stuff and people were screaming. I mean, all of the announcements and everything else. I thought that was really good.
My goal is next year when I go to actually be able to dance at the director's party. I'm like, Laura's like, oh, are you having fun? I'm like, I'm working. I was busy networking. I was trying to meet every single person I possibly could. You know what I mean?
Oh my gosh, I thought you were like working. I thought you were doing virtual shows. Or I thought,
like, you know what I mean? Like I'm busy. With, I'm trying to it's a great networking opportunity.
Oh yeah.
So if anything, I think that's what I took out of conference is, wow, you get to see like all these people.
Yeah.
You just see those ribbons. You're like, oh, I need to ask her, what is she doing? I need to ask her, what is she doing?
That's a great point.
Yeah. I made a file in my computer with a lot of really my favorite pictures and stuff, and like a picture of the cutting board and the knife that we got for free. Yeah. And so I'm going to use those next year to like, hey, we got these at swag.
That was awesome. That was an awesome.
Oh my God, we knew that. I mean, that was like, we were like, what? I mean, that was worth the price of the registration.
Oh yeah, my guests got them too because I had a guest come.
Oh my God! Well, they paid for the entire.
Right, they paid to come. But
that's really cool.
If you did not show up, you didn't get it, which we found out because there were 2 girls on my team that canceled last minute, and we did not pick up their bag because, they weren't there, so they didn't get sent the free stuff. But you know what? They should have been there doing their business.
So they did they cancel though their registration or no?
It was like
so they just didn't get it. Yeah, and they weren't gonna. Okay.
Or they weren't committed. I'm not sure which.
Okay.
But, so it's interesting. Maybe, but I didn't.
But it's almost like it's a reward for going.
It's a reward for being there. Okay, let me see. Okay, all right, hold on. So can you go live, Michael? Wait, I gotta unmute you. Michael, you there? Michael?
Yes, I'm right here, Patty.
All right, Michael. Okay, so I don't know if you wanna. You're live, but you're only audio, so your video is not on. I don't know if you want to go live or.
We hear you.
We hear you.
No, I can't show you my black eye. You might want to make the other one look the same.
Where are you? What do you mean your black eye?
My eye is still black from where I had that first seizure June 24th.
Yeah.
Hasn't healed up yet, so y'all can just call me Fido. I look like a little rat terrier.
Okay.
How are y'all doing?
Good.
Good.
You know what, Michael? And I know that you had, maybe what you can share, one of the things you can share is I know that you were sent some of the new products beforehand.
And you were going to be presenting from stage.
Yeah.
So do you want to just give us any of your insight? We don't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, my connection is going in and out in the house, so
okay.
I'm not in the best place for cellular connection, but the best product is the new catalog. Look at that index off the chain. I'm so excited about that. I mean, if that doesn't light your fire, your wood's wet, especially at cooking show where people can actually find the items and find the price, and I'm so excited about that. But as far as the products are concerned, I mean, I really do like the new knives and just the bakeware. I think we're on the right track with that stuff. That half a sheet pan is rocking. So I think it's going to be a great season.
What are you doing with the half a sheet pan? Are you doing sheet pan meals?
No, I haven't done any sheet pan meals, but just the ability to be able to put more food on one pan is just really cool.
Okay.
So, and it is it does clean up well also. So that's been something else that's been exciting about using it. I don't know what the new, I know that all the sheet pans have undergone a revision on the way they were for their their finish and so forth to make them more durable. So I'm excited about that. I've noticed I've even been using this sheet pan quite a bit, and it's cleaning up really easy.
Very cool. What about the knives?
We lost him.
Did he? I know, we might have lost him. He said he has bad internet connection. Oh, cellular service, yeah.
Michael, you still there?
Yeah, I'm here now.
Okay. The question was knives.
Oh, the question was knives. I've always been an advocate of our forged cutlery, and this cutlery here is really good. I like the where we have the positioning of the 8-inch chef's knife, where you know where to put your finger so if you're not getting cut. I know how to use the knife, so I like using that. I'm going to be honest with you, though. I am going to miss the 7-inch Santoku, because the Santoku is one of my favorite pieces. And I just always like using that 7-inch. I will miss that, but the 8-inch chef's knife is really nice.
Well, there,
The new steak,
not bad.
I like that too.
I'm sure we can sell it out.
So any thoughts that you have that you wanted to share? I know that before you went for your, half the month, you already had 12,000 in sales, and Michael.
Well, you know what? It was actually 14, and one of the shows was on hold, so it's all been fixed, though.
Yeah, I know. Mid-month he was, and is anybody green? 14,000, Michael, 14 plus already. Yeah, here, like by the 15th of the month, he had 14,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, almost 15, I think it was. Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, I know that you were going to be up on stage with Ferial. And I'm sorry that you had to miss that, or that we had to miss that, because that would have been a great duo.
He can share some of what he was going to do. Did you hear me? Can you share some of that? It was products.
Yeah, I was in Ferial's product.
Oh, we lost him.
Yeah, it was actually going to be a workshop, and it was on bakeware and the recipes. So I didn't ever get into getting those recipes, making with those recipes, because I just didn't have the time to get it done. So I can't give you any more insight than what I already just did, because I haven't used all of the bunts, the fluted pans or the new pie pans or any of those.
Okay.
I haven't used that yet.
Well, we've been thinking of you.
Yes, absolutely.
Hope you're doing better, and hope that they've been able to put you on the right track, the doctors.
Well, we're going to see. It's going to be a slow. It's a slow process, but it's definitely no concrete solution. I'll just leave it at that, because I got to go back in 2 weeks and do some more things. But I'm actually dealing with 2 different issues, and it's going to be a journey. But you know what? Everything that I get involved with seems to be some kind of journey involved. So I'm just going to keep plugging along the best I can. But absolutely, supposed to be no driving for 6 months. So that's a real problem when you live out in a rural area and your wife doesn't drive. So I'll just keep that in prayer for that need to be met. I know it will be. So making it hard to do this, making it hard to do the shows.
Yeah.
Making it very hard. But I do agree with, I've enjoyed the call today, and I agree with everything that you guys have said. And, it is an experience, and we're not just selling a product, we're selling ourselves. And it's about building that relationship. So
absolutely,
that's what it's all about. If we forget that, then we will have a business. So
yeah. Well, thank you, Michael, for sharing a little bit with us. I think we could go ahead and end the Zoom call.
Yeah, unless anybody else. I mean, you have all these people on there. Anybody else want to share? Do you guys have any? I could unmute whoever wants to. Somebody's chatting. Hold on. One of my consultants does this, and was that a while ago? Oh, Diana for the evening. Thank you, everyone. Need to go. Have a great day. Oh, that's Diana. Okay. Okay. Perfect. Here. Yeah. Okay. So where are you, Tina? Are you here? There we are. Okay. Go ahead.
Well, I did the product workshop with that Fariel was in, and I guess Michael was probably supposed to be in that one. So she did the cookie sheets, and I think one of the reasons they chose her too is because she is a chef, you know, and so so she talked a lot about you know, the sheet pan meals and the sheet pan and how, and she did like put it through the ringer and how beautifully it cleaned up. But I did learn one cool tip from her, and that was that you put that pan in the freezer before you're going to do any kind of pastry crust, and that's what makes for the real flakiness and crispiness when you bake. And that was something new to me and kind of weird. I did a pie a couple of last week, like a peach pie, and I didn't use the metal. I used our regular pie plate, but I noticed in this one particular recipe that I had that you had to keep putting the dough back in the refrigerator to chill before you would even bake the pie. Even like an hour, they said, like after you have it all filled and ready before you put it in, which I didn't have time to do, but I really noticed a difference in the flakiness. So I thought that's a good tip to give and add value to the show. She did say the pan, you know, might darken a little bit over time, but not, you know, in a fashion that it was before. So the sheet pans, you know, it's all about teaching about a sturdy protein and then, you know, the vegetables and stuff around it. And, you know, she talked about the knife classes and so she said something interesting that she didn't feel fatigued after, like, she took that chef's knife and she used it in her kitchen, like, for everything that she did for, you know, a week or I think like a whole week every day. And obviously she cooks a lot. And she said that she didn't feel fatigued after all the chopping she did. So that's kind of gave me a new word, like, that I've kind of put in when talking to my customers, you know, if they say that they do a lot of cutting and chopping, and, you know, so I've used that fatigued word to say, well, you know, if you have a good knife, this is probably gonna, you know, not make you feel that way. And we talked about that acacia wood, which is what the board is made out of. So, you know, she had a lot of great tips on that board. You know, it comes from younger trees. So, you know, I guess that makes it more sustainable. And moisture resistant. That wood is more moisture resistant. So a lot of the things that we thought about wood boards before, we kind of have to rethink that, because we've been saying, you know, that, you know, they're porous and stuff, but really just like anything else, like think of I just bought a memory foam mattress, and the difference between when those came out like years ago and how they are today is different. Well, I guess the same kind of thing with the cutting boards. And so having one, you know, it's not gonna, you know, you can't put it in the dishwasher, but there are ways to clean it. And they mentioned about using a good food grade quality mineral oil on that, you know, to keep it, that's what she was doing, to keep it looking good.
Olive oil will go rancid if you don't wash it enough, I read.
Oh, really?
You mean if you cure it with olive oil instead of mineral oil? Okay.
It said olive oil will go rancid if you don't keep washing it.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, well, she was part of, like, she was in there with the people from products, you know, so they were all like kind of, and so that's what they suggested was use the mineral oil.
Food grade, you say, then what is that? Like, give an example. I don't know.
You know, I know you could buy it at Amazon.
Yeah, you can buy it.
Because
I got that for Beyond for $6.
Yeah. Well, I think maybe because it would be the one like people took like as a shot, you know, to keep them regular years ago. You know, that's what they were talking about.
A little for the board, a little for you.
And you know, those are, like she says, those little cuts, those are your your battle wounds. You know, you want it to look that way, and then you know you can flip it over to the flat side and use it as a serving piece. So I mean, I don't think I know it. I'm still going to advertise my large groove cutting board as my workhorse in the kitchen, and my cutting mats to protect from the different bacterias and stuff. But then you have that to sell as a beautiful piece for serving and for carving. And some people just want a wood board, and if they want to make it look like it's, you know, used, that's part of the beauty of, you know, what a chef, you know, will see. And then she had a lot of great ideas for the cooking parties. Like with the pancakes for dinner. So you know, how you can do a great cooking party with making the pancakes, using that, the champagne, having mimosas, you know, using the stopper, like all of those things are going to beautifully tie together. And then, you know, using all the baking materials, which she said were great, and, you know, doing baking classes. So, and I thought that was really, I mean, I love brunch shows. I love doing brunch shows. And I think now we've got them we've got even more things that we can do for brunch shows and bring in
the
that
champagne stuff, Tina.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm gonna love this.
I sent the stopper home with Matthew when he was here for the golf outing. And because they have a lot of champagne at home, so that they could, you know, give me feedback on,
very nice.
You know, how it works. But yeah, that's going to be a great theme show to throw out, you know, mimosas and and so yeah, she was great. She was really funny and yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Brunch and punch.
Yeah.
These party packs.
Yeah.
You don't know gold party packs.
And they're
I know.
And the way that they've laid them out recently, they've relaid everything. You know, they're changing everything over now.
You can copy all the PDF, all the wording right in your post. Party packs are amazing.
I feel like she was gonna do like if somebody brought 15, had a show with 15 guests, she was gonna make mini bundt cakes to bring to the show, and then have the slow cooker on with the chocolate ganache there. So you know, so that would be an add-on thank you gift to
She's
the
gonna
host.
make 15 buns though.
I don't know. I don't know if she. I don't think you would.
They're
make,
not really single servings.
No, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would just probably do one pan and then cut them up, and then you know, have the ganache in the slow cooker. So she's, you know, adding something to the cooking show, rewarding the host, but yet bringing in the.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, so I thought that was a good idea that she shared too.
Speaking of those mini buns, I had a little thought of doing. We've been talking about doing like a last glance, first, you know, in and out party, whatever. And I think I'm going to bake those mini buns and put them in those little packages that they gave us, and give them to like the first however many people show up.
Cute idea. Yeah, great idea.
Because you're showing them, then you're always looking to give somebody
That's a
something.
really good idea.
Yeah, that's a
So
great
I don't
idea.
know if that crossed my mind last night when I was trying to fall asleep. I don't even know how many we got in our package, but okay.
Oh, and then another 6.
Yeah, you only have 12 boxes. But you could order.
Yeah,
because you can get them right. We get another set at 50% off if we wanna buy it. That's a really good idea if you're gonna do a baking class.
Oh yeah, that
you know, to have a little take home for everybody
And I
who
had an
signs
idea
up
about
for it.
the, Halloween cookie cutters. I've got kids in school, and they usually bring a treat at Halloween, and we're not allowed to do. There's not allowed to do candy anymore in schools, at least our schools.
Candy?
Nothing.
Oh God, no.
No candy, no treats, no nothing.
Wow, I know. Right. You could bring anything.
I buy a friend set. I earned 2, and then I was going to get another couple and make little gift bags and put a little note in there that if there's a whole set of them, and each of the kids in the class will get one cookie cutter.
That's a great idea.
And that'll be there. Because I mean, it's a good. I mean, usually it's like a pencil or sticker.
That is excellent.
But so this is something that they can actually use.
Yeah.
Every kid in the class will get a cookie
Oh,
cutter.
that's a cute idea.
That's a great idea.
Same at Christmas.
How many kids are in your kids' class?
20 to 25-ish. 2, 3.
So,
I mean, if they each just get one, I mean,
No,
if you buy little stickers, exactly,
right.
Yeah.
If you, oh yeah, right.
You guys all should get that treat bag.
So with a, you know what?
you're making money off of that. I mean, you go buy candy, you're not making any money off of that.
Like 5 people buy a whole set. I mean, I made my money.
Yeah.
So. Oh, that's a great. The kids love these cookie cutters.
Yeah.
Love that.
Oh,
You
go
could
ahead.
have a little,
Oh, wait. Go ahead. Who's that? Who's talking?
It's Brandy. I was going to say, I mean, if you gave the little cookie cutter, you could put a little Play-Doh with it, you know, like we were doing back in the fall with it. So then they had like a little Play-Doh to make a little thing.
Yeah.
Real quick on that food grade mineral oil. They actually sell a gallon of it. Somebody said they bought a gallon, and it's the food safe mineral oil at Walmart for $22 a gallon. I thought about buying that and then getting some little bottles. And if anybody buys a board from me, that I would give them like a little bottle of mineral oil to go along with their board.
Yeah.
You know, and then they've got something to get it ready and seasoned with right away, you know, after they.
Yeah.
So, just a thought.
Thanks, Brandy. Thanks. Anybody else? Anybody else you guys have any other ideas? Anybody that's still left on there?
Anybody a pro with the rolling pin?
A pro with
A
rolling
pro
pin?
with
rolling pin? Like, I love to bake.
My husband loves
and
it.
I don't like to roll out anything, but I just wondered if anybody, I loved it for pies I made.
Yeah.
It was really, really easy. It was a nice even weight. I have a pastry chef on my team, so she's gonna teach us, but I wondered if anybody had any.
No,
I haven't
Sherry,
tried it
I was at Sherry Carr's kickoff over the weekend in Valparaiso, and she had her rolling pin on display in like one of those cookbook. You know, she has a cookbook metal stand.
Yeah. I know what
And
you
she
mean.
put her rolling pin
that's a cute
there
idea.
as a decoration.
That's a cute idea.
That was really cute. And
Yeah.
then the other thing that I just wanted to share, shout out to Sherry, is our roasting pan that most people associate with cooking turkey or power cooking. She uses it all the time in her kitchen. And in fact, it was her son's Brian's first request when he went off to college. But because they're cooking for a crew and they're usually cooking for 12 people at a time, she uses her roasting pan across the double burner on her stove and doubles family-size skillet recipes. So this season we have all those one-pot meals and family skillet. You can easily double those recipes and do it in the big roasting pan. And so we did, they were making up some of the new recipes. And I think that turns it, obviously Chex Mix and stuff like that we know of, or power cooking more than one roast at a time. But I think if you start teaching people that with big families or you want to cook for a crowd, the roasting pan goes from a specialty use of once or twice or 3 times a year to something that you might use a whole lot more often and then more justify the price. So
even taco meat.
It's so cheap.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't know how many pounds of ground meat.
But I'm sending my son now with baggies of taco meat ready to go.
Oh, excellent. Yeah.
Excellent.
That is the most unbelievable value, and I think that's our best value in the catalog is the professional roasting pan, because all you have to do is go in those stores around the holidays and see the $99 special roasting pan that they all have sitting, you know, near the door.
Oh yeah.
And the quality, you would just want to kill yourself. That's how cheap they are. They're like 10 for $99. And then you have ours for it's $125, I think. I don't know if it's the same for next year. I mean, it's not even like a question. It's like a joke.
Yeah.
So we have to really, really talk about that at our cooking parties, because those $99 specials are like 10.
And if you don't have one, wouldn't this be the perfect month? Is that part? Oh, wait, is,
No,
No.
I don't think it is in there.
Is it one
It's
of the
130.
Oh, so it's $130 now, but still, it's still a fantastic value.
Oh, that's
compared to
even at
quality.
full retail price. At full retail.
So I
Yeah.
think we're going to go ahead and stop the Zoom. But thank you all for joining us. And I'm so glad that you did. Thank you, Patty,
Thank you.
for coordinating it.
All right, you guys, we're gonna say,
Oh, how are we?